Namanda, 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 Namanda,
Good morning and welcome to our hybrid virtual in-person service on what looks to be a glorious Sunday. My name is Judy Fujimoto, and I would like to thank you for attending this morning's Dharma family and Hanamatsuri service with the Hatsumairi ceremony. We have Reverend Ken Tanaka as our special guest speaker today. We will begin this service with a moment of quiet sitting. Reverend Kuahara will strike the bell, and we will sit for 1 or 2 minutes to quiet our minds and prepare to hear the Dharma. Then he will strike the bell again, and we will continue with the service.
Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu.
Reverend Kuahara will now introduce the participants in this year's Hatsumari, or infant presentation ceremony, which we always look forward to.
Good morning, Masa. Ohayo. Hi. Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for attending today's service. And so on this occasion of Hana Matsuri, celebration of Shakyamuni Buddha's birth, every year, yes, Masa, we also celebrate a new kind of baby, joining our Sangha. So this year, we have two new kind of baby joining our Sangha group. So first, I would like to introduce Taka. Okay. So, じゃあどうしようかな? Can you come? Yeah, to the front. Oh. Okay, so can you? Yeah. Yes. Maybe, yeah, Mimi picture time. Okay, so Hatsumairi, infant presentation. The Berkeley Buddhist Temple hereby certifies Taka Kagehiro Bond has been officially welcomed into the Sangha in the presence of Amida Buddha on this 9th day, April 2023. And then now I would like to also present a certificate. And then also this Monto Shikisho. You are so cute as usual. Okay, then this is it. Okay, so Tiger, and then, yeah, can you come to the front? Okay, so can you, yeah, thank you. Okay, so the next is Hatsumairi infant presentation. The Berkeley Buddhist Temple hereby certifies Maverick Maruo Hoshi has been officially welcomed into the Sangha in the presence of Amida Buddha on this 9th day, April 2023. Okay. Okay, can you? Yeah, thank you. ありがとうございました. And then also this is the welcome. Thank you very much, Margaret. So cute. Yes, はい. Yeah, I cannot believe when I came to Berkeley Buddhist Temple, Tiger was, I think, high school or something. But now he's father. I can't believe it.
Oh, babies are always a hard act to follow, but especially cute ones like that. But now Reverend Kuwahara will lead us in the chanting of the Junin Rai, which is on page 67 of the large service book.
何万打仏、何万打仏。慶州天人職業阿弥陀千両族尊在非未明安楽国無量無視主意念金色心情如線のシャマタ行如造部両目上脈小蓮華古賀将来弥陀尊面前年上如満月以降有如千日月小如天空くしら古賀将来弥陀尊観音頂戴観知宇宙主寿命相法称言のぶくげど馬けま古賀将来弥陀尊無微無空交渉上修徳敬受女国小さり役徳自在古賀将来弥陀尊実法妙門菩薩衆無量小魔女三段一生修上願力十古賀将来弥陀尊根体保険知正家前言少女梅大座お膝上如線の古賀将来弥陀尊実法将来勝負し権限人図し安楽戦言尊厳上苦行古賀将来弥陀尊小無常無我と薬尿水月伝よろ一種説法無明寺古賀将来弥陀尊非尊仏説無悪名薬無女人なく道夫主任死心教悲尊古賀将来弥陀尊非尊無量法勉強 小衆悪知識往生不退死菩提古が将来弥陀尊我説非尊功徳寺修善無変如海水小逆前言小乗者平成主上小非公アマンダブアマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブ願にしく読平等性一切道本菩提心往生安楽ナマンダーツナマンダーツナマンダーツナマンダーツナマンダーツナマンダーツナマンダーツナマンダーツナマンダーツ
Now, if you will please rise, if you are able, along and sing along with us the Gatha A Flower Grows, which is on the handout. And after that, we will please remain standing for the Golden Chain 2.
Flower grows,
If you'll remain standing and read along with me the Golden Chain 2 on page 15 of the large service book. Golden Chain 2. I am a link in the Buddha's golden chain of love that stretches around the world. I must keep my link bright and strong. I will try to be kind and gentle to every living thing and protect all who are weaker than myself. I will try to think pure and beautiful thoughts, to say pure and beautiful words, and to do pure and beautiful deeds, knowing that on what I do now depends not only my happiness or unhappiness, but also that of others. May every link in the Buddha's golden chain of love become bright and strong, and may we all attain perfect peace. Namo Amida Butsu.
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 Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu.
And you may be seated now.
田中先生。
And now, as you notice, we have the Hanamido, so it's Hanamatsuri, and we will have a special presentation by the Dharma School students. So we'll give them a few minutes to set up here.
Please join me in Gasho. Namo Mira Butsu. Namo Mira Butsu. Namo Mira Butsu. Good morning. Happy Hanamatsuri. The Dharma School would like to present a Jeopardy game to celebrate Hanamatsuri. As a Sangha, every Sunday we chant, sing, and listen to the Dharma together. But do you know what we never do as a Sangha? We never engage in malicious competition inside the Hondo.
Until today. Today we would like to play a competitive game of Jeopardy. One side of the Hondo will be Team Lotus, and then the other side will be Team Cherry Blossom. I hope you know how to I hope you know how to play Jeopardy, a game that has been on TV since 1964. That's 59 years. We will alternate turns between Team Lotus and Team Cherry Blossom.
Here is how we will play Dharma School Jeopardy! A Sangha player will raise their hand if they would like to play. They will pick a category in one of the Noble Truths and say that back to us. No, not us. Team captain and other team captain. Then they will ask the host, Tegan, will take in the Honda for one noble truth. That Sangha player will respond to the prompt in the form of a question, like in real Jeopardy.
A judge will then either ring the bell or flip the stick. For each correct answer, 1 through 4 points will be awarded from the Noble Truth value. Okay, let's begin by introducing the topics. The categories are In the Hondo, Reverend Kuwahara, Sunday Service, and Shinran Shonin. Okay, let's begin. Are there any volunteers from Team Lotus?
Can you make it more clear which side is which team? And then
Hi. Okay. I just picked one, right? All right. Let's do In the Hondo for 2 noble truths.
In the Hondo, 2 important standing statues are named this.
There you go. Oh. All right. Are we going Amita and Shinran? Okay. Amita and Shinran. Oh, who are Amita and Shinran?
Would Team Cherry Blossom like to pick a category?
Sunday service.
All right. I say these words when I recite the golden chain, so you can look in the purple service book. Just all of them, yeah. Yeah, look in the book on which page is it? I think it's 17? Okay, 15. I don't know.
What is Amalek in the golden chain? In the Buddhist golden chain. Of love.
We have one eye.
That was a shaky answer, but all right. Team, or the side next.
Team Lotus. Come on, somebody volunteer. We'll do Shinran Shoni for one noble truth. Okay.
At this age, Shinran Shonin entered the monastery to study the Dharma.
When is 9 years old?
Is
I can't hear.
okay. The answer was 9, and that was correct.
Would Team Cherry Blossom like to pick a category?
Yeah, Reverend Kuahara for 4, please. Reverend Kuahara, aren't you on Team Cherry
After I offer incense, Reverend Kuahara and I do this after the service.
What is bow to each other?
Yay. Oh, and then the answer was bow to each other.
Team Lotus's turn. Shinran Shonen repeated this phrase in deep appreciation and gratitude for the wisdom and compassion of Amida Buddha.
Would Team Cherry Blossom like to pick a category? Okay. Reverend Kuahara guides us in this school of Buddhism. Yeah.
Team Lotus. Sometimes a high school student, a Sangha member, or a minister's assistant. This person always knows the page number to turn to.
Who is the chairperson?
Okay. Team Cherry Blossom. When inside the Hondo, I quiet my mind and also silence this item so it does not disturb myself or others. Yay.
Cell phone. One volunteers. Our kind and compassionate Reverend Kuahara was born in this city.
A volunteer from Team Cherry Blossom.
In the Honda for a 3.
My friend Di has songs printed inside this. Yay. Oh, the answer was the service books.
Couldn't hear. It's hard to hear you.
Volunteers. Cool. The first sentence of the three treasures is. You can look in the book. It's fine. Yeah.
Would Team Cherry Blossom like to pick a category? Shinran Shonin believed other power, not self-power, enables our enlightenment. The name of the Buddha that provides other power is this. The answer was Amida.
Alright, what are the twos? Which one? Okay, Reverend Kuhara for 2.
Our Reverend is a friend to all Dharma school students. His 3 favorite Dharma students' names are these. Takato, Hiroto, and 8.
Okay, Team Cherry Blossom. Shinran for 2, Noble Truths. Yep. This is the name of Shinran Shonin's most respected teacher. For him, Shinran understood the strength of the Nembutsu path. The answer was Hoenn. So.
This is around both of my hands when I gasho.
Team Cherry Blossom. When entering the Hondo, I bow respectfully and then step in with this foot. Yes, the answer was the left foot. Nice job.
Both teams won. Even though both teams won, technically we are all winners thanks to the Dharma in our lives. Therefore, our prize to each of you will be cherry blossom stickers for you to put on your name tag. Our students are passing them out now.
I didn't even have to use the stick even once. Yeah.
Thank you guys for celebrating Hanamatsuri with us. We enjoyed being together with our Sangha. Please join me in Gasho. Oh. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu.
So I was by myself. So me against me. It was the same team. And somehow I got tired because I got one and one wrong.
Message? Yeah, message you will listen to Tanaka Sensei.
It might be too far out, but okay, do the backpack. We'll pick it in the back.
Again, thank you very much to the Dharma School students for testing the limits of our knowledge. And congratulations to both teams. Now, if you are able, could you please rise? We will sing the Gatha in Lumbini's Garden, which is either on page 175 of the large service book or on the handout. Okay, yes. Birds in springtime through our forests and Oh, you may be seated. And now Reverend Kuahara will introduce our guest speaker today, Dr. Ken Tanaka.
Okay, thank you very much. That was a good, Dharma school game. Much better than my Dharma message. More educational, and then, especially both sides won. This is very Buddhistic, ending. So today we are so fortunate to have a special guest speaker, Tanaka Sensei. So Reverend Dr. Kenneth Tanaka was born 1947 in Japan. I thought he was born here, but he was born in Japan, according to the Wikipedia. I hope this is correct. And then he grew up in Mountain View. And then he received the BA from Stanford University. And then also he received, yes. And then he also received a master's and then doctoral degree from the Cal. Yeah. And then he is a very Bay Area person. And then he went to IBS, Institute of Buddhist Studies, to study Buddhism more. And then also he was a professor of the IBS. And then after that, he went to Japan from 1998. He started teaching at the Musashino University. And over 20 years teaching at the Musashino University, he retired. 先生、いつでしたっけ、リタイアされたのは 5 years ago, he retired from Musashino University. And then he wrote many books and articles. So according to Wikipedia, so many, reference pages. And then, he had an interview with the PBS, and then also, radio, and there's so many things he provided as a, Dharma teacher. So today we are so fortunate to have Tanaka Sensei as a speaker. よろしくお願いいたします。
Okay, good morning. And happy birthday, happy Hanamatsuri the birth of the Buddha. Boy, it's kind of a hard act to follow after the babies and the Jeopardy. I hope I can get you to listen to what I have to say. Anyway, it's very nice to be back here in this Hondo with lots of memories. Even when I was going to college, I came here for the first time. So that's, I don't know, over 50 years ago. It's really hard to believe it's been 50 years. And the younger people here, things change. But the reality is that things change much more quickly as you get older. Yeah, and, when you're younger, it's not so much. But as you get older, it goes quickly. So we have to appreciate life here and now, and the people and the food and the companion that you have right in front of your eyes. That's one of the teachings of Buddhism. Okay, so I hear 2 hours to give my sermon. Okay, I'll keep it to 20 minutes. And so I wanted to, okay, what's on there? Okay, I can see. Oh, all right, so here we go. All right, my talk today is entitled, Desire is Necessary, but Greed and Clinging Lead to Suffering. And so desire is necessary. Sometimes in Buddhism we say, desire is bad, but not so, not for ordinary people like us. For monks and nuns in the monastery, in the mountains, that's true. But for ordinary lay people like us, desire is necessary. But greed can lead to clinging and can lead to suffering. So that's what my message today. So, sometimes we think Buddhism, we do nothing and not get involved in desiring things, but we have to desire. Anyway, so, that's the wrong one. Okay. How do you? Okay. And this is a statue of the Buddha. It's similar to what you see here. You have one finger pointing upwards and one finger pointing downwards. And this is supposedly how he looked when he was born. He was born and he took 7 steps right away, and he raised his one hand up and one hand down and said, in the heavens above and in the heavens below, I alone am the world honored one. And so, but this is it's a, what do you call it? It's a myth. It's a story that was told later. So, I personally don't believe that the Buddha, as soon as he was born, he took 7 steps. It's trying to provide a message, and that message. Okay, wrong one. So he said, as I just said, he supposedly said, in the heavens above and in the heavens below, I alone am the world honored one. Now, at face value, it sounds very egotistical, right? And it's been said, it's been criticized that it's self-centered. But in actuality, I think it's more this. Because I will relieve the world of all its suffering. So that is why he came into the world, to relieve the suffering of the world. And that is why the later people said, looking back and said, oh, the Buddha is an honored person. He didn't say it, that people later, the Buddhists and other people said, he is worthy of being a world honored one because he thought about other people. He wanted to relieve the suffering of people. And because of him, 2,600 years later, we're here with the same purpose. So again, desire is necessary, but greed and clinging lead to suffering. And here is a photo of what? A wasp, yeah? Okay, so I have a very interesting story. And sometimes Buddhism gets to be Buddhism sounds very difficult, but the message can be found in the everyday experiences of our lives. A number of years ago, I was with my friend, a minister friend up in Oregon, and we were eating outside and we were having, spaghetti. And all of a sudden, this wasp, or a wasp that looks like this, came down and tried to, pick up the noodles. And I just, wasp has to eat. That's desire. We have to eat in order to live. So same with the wasp. So it grabbed, one of the noodles, and it was about this long, and we were impressed, that, and grabbed it and began to fly away. But it was too heavy. It couldn't pick it up. And so we said, well, too bad, wasp. And then this wasp, what he did, or it did, was he went and cut the noodle to smaller piece, like this long, not this long, this long, and grabbed it and flew away. And we both looked at each other and said, wow, that's impressive. He must have been a Buddhist wasp. He learned that too much greed, in other words, picking up a noodle this big, that's greed, okay? And it led to suffering. The suffering, by the way, what is suffering to you? We all often talk about suffering. What is suffering? It's, feelings of anxiety. We all experience anxiety. I especially experience it whenever I have to go to a doctor's appointment and get my exam results. As you get older, you never know what the results are. It's kind of anxiety is one suffering. Disappointment is one suffering. Okay? And anger, well, it's, that's, when you're angry, it doesn't feel good. Disappointment, anger, what else can you think of? Sadness. Oh, sadness, good, yeah, okay, sadness. Fear. Oh, yeah. Okay. Fear. Loneliness. Oh, very good, yeah. Those are, we often say suffering, but they, it includes all of them. Anyway, so this Buddhist bee, or wasp, was able to exemplify and teach us that, too much greed will not allow you to eat. But if you cut it, and then it was able to fly away. Okay, so in other words, another example is the greedy dog. That is, most of you have grown up with this, having grown up in America. So the message of the Buddha is universal. So even in the Aesop story, you have the story of the greedy dog. Greediness leads to suffering. And as you know, in this story, this is the greedy dog, but this is at the end. He sees a puppy with a bone in its mouth, a juicy bone, right? And what does he do? He wants that juicy bone, and so he growls and scares the puppy, and the puppy gets scared and drops the bone, and so the greedy dog gets the bone. And then he says, well, I want to go to a quieter place to go eat. And so he's going to a quieter place, but on the way, he goes over a little bridge over a creek. And then he has a bone in his mouth, right? Then he sees in the water another dog with a bone in its mouth. So being greedy dog that he is, he wants that bone too. So he barks, and what happens? the bone drops right into the creek, and he lost the bone. He suffered. Okay, so the greed is when he took the bone from the puppy, and the puppy suffered. Puppy was scared, and he suffered. And then the greedy dog himself suffered because he lost his own bone. And so this is an example from not from the Buddha's what the Buddha said, but from the Aesop fables that's been part of the Western civilization. So anyway, okay. So I hope I've demonstrated how greed can lead to suffering and bad feelings. Okay, now I want to go further to maybe not so, to maybe the older folks, the adults as well, and has to do with the issue of clinging. Clinging, greed. Greed. If you really insist on it, it becomes clinging. And so we have a wonderful story from the Buddha, whose birthday we're celebrating. And here is, I love this story, was told to me by one of my respective teachers, and I call it cliffhanger. Which by the way, I think later the chairperson will talk about it, but it's in my book called Jewels, that will be made possible to everyone if you wish, free of charge. And it's all of this is in here. And this book has lots of humor. I love trying to convey Buddhist messages through humor. And this is not really, I don't think the Buddha said it in order to be funny, but from our vantage point, it's kind of humorous. So here you have on the left-hand side a guy who's hanging on a cliff, and a cliff that is 100 yards above the ground. So he's clinging for dear life. Obviously, we all would, right? If you're clinging. And then, so he's trying to climb up, and he just can't, he doesn't want to fall off. And then all of a sudden, he sees the Buddha right above the cliff, and he says, "Oh, Buddha, save me. Please, save me." And then on the right-hand side, the Buddha says what? "I will. Let go." Is it funny? It's not funny perhaps, but okay, so if you look at the right-hand side, if you notice the ground is only a yard above, okay? So for that man, it's 100 yards below, but from the Buddha's point of view, it's only 1 yard. And we're making a mountain out of a molehill. And that's how we are often. That's how often we are like that. When we are clinging and desiring certain things, if you're a baseball fan, you want your team to win, right? And you cling to that. And actually, last year, I became an avid fan of Shohei Ohtani and the Angels. And they were doing really great last year in the beginning, but around maybe May or June, they started losing, and it was very, very difficult for me. And I didn't realize I was so much attached, so clinging. And that's the nature of being a fan. You want your team to win. And you say, it's only a game, but when they lose, and when they kept losing 14 straight games, and it was, I felt like, exactly this guy, on the left-hand side, clinging, and says, I want to, and somehow, if you lose, I felt like you falling 100 yards to the bottom of the cliff. So, but the Buddha has taught us, like here, it's only a game. It's only 1 yard, and often we find ourselves being a person hanging on a 100-yard cliff. but it's a good image to have whenever you feel frustrated, and I'm sure that, or a little bit peeved, a little bit irritated because of what someone said or what you didn't accomplish. But when you put it into perspective, that is the perspective of the Buddha. Buddha says, hey, it's only 1 yard. Just let go. Let it go. Let it go. You know, and I tell my grandson who's here, oh, he's not here now, when he gets a little bit irritated, let it go. You know, like the frozen. And actually, I think it's almost a Buddhist message. Or we can say a lot of the Buddhist messages are very universal. Letting go and letting go. Though it's not easy. It's not easy. But to know the perspective of the Buddha is very helpful. My son is not here, but he was telling me this recently. He got in a car accident, or he bumped his new car. And, you know, they were on a vacation, and he just kind of, it was his fault. I understand. And he bumped, and it's a brand new car, and so he was quite upsetting, you know, and he's never been in a car accident. Why did I do that? And he felt like the 100-yard guy, cliffhanger on the 100-yard cliff. But he's a Buddhist, and he was a student here, like many of the Dharma school students here, and he remembered the Buddhist perspective. Oh, when you really put it in perspective, you know, the situation is only 1 yard. You know, nobody got hurt, you know, and the other person didn't get hurt. And yeah, we're all kind of, you know, we kind of panicked, but, you know, it was okay. So that's the message that, and again, we all will get very frustrated and upset, and why is it happening to me? Why this and why that? And you know, we're all rational here, but you know, when you're in that situation, you can be like the guy on the left-hand side. So the message for us from the Buddha is to keep that in mind, that most things in our daily lives are like the man who is only 1 yard above the bottom of the ground. Okay, so there are other examples that I can think of. Since we don't have too much time, but I just said the other day I was working on my computer and somehow it stopped functioning. You know, it froze. Have you had that experience, right? And I had some assignment to do, and I had to turn it in on time, and all of a sudden I was the man on a 100-yard cliff, you know, and I can feel it. Oh, if I don't get this done, it's gonna. And then I call the operator. This is in Japan. Everybody's very polite in Japan, as you know, even on the phone. But this person on the other hand, on the other side of the phone was not so nice. You know, little curt, little kind of, felt like he was kind of talking back to me and blaming me for the reason why the word was not working. And then, and at one point he made a statement, and because I was already feeling like the man on the 100-yard cliff, I kind of shouted back and talked back, and I felt kind of terrible afterwards, you know. And I should have known better. I should have known that when I got frustrated with the word program freezing on me, I should have remembered what the Buddha had taught. But even us ministers, you know, that happens quite often. So anyway, that's an example of these different things. And then finally, I wanted to just say that's right. I forgot about. Let's go back. So I was just talking about these, you know, everyday, ordinary experiences that are not really serious. But how about when it's really serious? You know, issues of serious illness and death, and because we all will encounter that eventually. That's why we have a religion. Religion is not there just so that we can deal with it completely, but at some point we have to have a different reality to which we can, to which we can participate, a reality, a world, a realm in which we feel part of it. And so I think the matter of death and serious illness, one of the things that religion or Buddhism can offer is basically still the same. The Buddha is, don't worry, don't worry, just let go. The ground will support you. The 1 yard that you will fall, and it's there to support you. And of course, this is a metaphor for, in our tradition, we call it Amida's vow to, embrace us, to accept us for who we are, and we can wisdom, compassion, all of these words represent this ground to which we can just let go. It's only 1 yard, and just let go, and you're there, and you'll be fine, just as you are. And Shinran Shonin, the founder of our sect, whose statue is back there, and I love one of his lines. It goes like this: "Oh, how happy I am! My mind and heart are planted in the ground of the Buddha's vow." So the ground, the base, the land, and so let go, and you are already embraced and supported by this this ground, and it's easier said than done, and here there are 2 cats in my family, in my life, and one is this Mike, who's at my Tokyo house, and this is a stray cat, a feral cat. And so if you know anything about feral cats, even though you get to know them, they will never get close to you. They always run away. I've been feeding this cat for 12 long years. It has never thanked me. Not even thanking me, but I wanted to go and pet the, but won't let me do that. But it's okay. I understand. He's a feral cat. But in a way, I feel kind of sad and sorry for him, because all his life, he's afraid. He's not entrusting. Okay, and then this one is Shibu, who is my grandson's cat, and this cat is totally different. Was raised in a loving family, and for all these years. So we just got in about 5 days ago, and he comes up to us and he sleeps in our bed, and he is a entrusting cat, not like Mike, the Tokyo cat. And so I got to thinking, when the Buddha says, let go, it's only 1 yard below, we still have this hesitancy to let go and to entrust in the fact that even with death, you'll be okay. And we call it Pure Land and Amida's vow, and but all these words. But what it's basically saying is, we are embraced in this great compassion, just like this cat, Shibu, has felt throughout its life. And in fact, for most of us here, I'm sure that we have been fortunate enough to live a life that's been loving and caring. We have been embraced by wisdom and compassion. If you look at what's going on in Ukraine and other places in the world, it's really very, very difficult. It's like the cat in Tokyo. It's cannot trust. And so I got to thinking that these 2 cats represent how instruction for how we can feel about the Buddha's message of letting go, and letting go to the great wisdom and compassion, and that includes the community, the temple community. And so the other important thing is, Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. I have been talking about the Dharma and the Buddha, but the Sangha is important. In fact, this temple very name is Sangha. And Sangha is a community in which we support. And so in order for this black cat, Shibu, to feel the way it did, it had a great Sangha. And so that I hope that this temple can become a Sangha, a caring and loving community for not only for people who come here and who belong here, but also for people in the greater community. In Buddhism, we emphasize interdependence. And I think oftentimes in Buddhism, we turn too much inward, but we have to be much more outward. I think that this temple has had events and attitude that's much more communal than maybe some other temples. And I think that we need to continue to be part of that land, the ground on which people can land. And so that you can be like Shibu. It's hard to see, but he's just curled up and he's sleeping. It's impressive how trusting he is. That's because he's had a wonderful environment and maybe he's understanding the Buddha's teachings. But the other thing I felt was, in my next life, maybe I want to be born as a cat. You're sleeping most of the time and taking it easy and you don't have to work. Then on the other hand, I think, maybe not. I think that, desiring to go to school and desiring to do what we want to do, that gives interest in life. And I think life is interesting because we desire. So again, one of the messages today is that as Buddhists, it's not that we don't desire anything. There's good desire, and because that's what gives us meaning in a lot of things. But also think about not only yourself, but think of others. That is the message, I think, that Buddha, in a nutshell, provided for us. So in thanking Buddha, who was born 2,598 years ago, can we sing happy birthday for him? Okay? All right, so as a conclusion of my talk, so let's sing happy birthday to Buddha. Okay? Kenji, you sing too, okay? Happy birthday. Well, okay, so instead of saying, we just say Buddha, okay? All right, 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Buddha. Happy birthday to you. Yay! Okay, so that concludes my message. I hope you take away just at least one thing from my message. And okay, so you'll talk about the book later? Yeah, okay.
Thank you again, Reverend Tanaka, for your thoughtful words on this Hanamatsuri. I remember you well from the late 60s in Berkeley when our hair was much longer and much darker. So.
Impermanence.
Yes, impermanence, exactly. I guess I would like to welcome some guests today. When I call your name, you can wave or get up or whatever. First, we have some guests from the Reverend Tanaka's family. Kimi Tanaka, Nathan Tanaka, Sandy Tanaka, Taiga Tanaka, and Kenji Tanaka. And also Serena Tamura and Andrew Tamura. And Maverick's grandparents, Alan Tom and Joanne Tom. And Anita Penner. Okay. And one more guest, Gary Bement. Thank you all for joining us today on this special celebration of Hanamatsuri. I have a few announcements, which are never short. Next Sunday is our pet memorial service, Sunday, April 16th. Members are invited to bring photos of their departed pets to place on the onaijin. Also, we are having visitors from the Florin Buddhist Church, yes. And there will be a light lunch to follow, so, I'll entice you to come. Let's see. Our BBT Buddhist education classes, Sunday, April 16th at 11:30 in the Hondo. The topic is Buddhism 101, and no registration is required to join. On Sunday, April 23rd, is the Asian Cultural Festival from 11 to 6 in Berkeley at the Civic Center Park. The BBT will have a booth at the event and welcome Sangha members to join us in sharing information about our temple. So please contact Karen Sugiyama for details. There's the BBT Dharma, the monthly online study session, Thursday, April 27th at 6:30 p.m. Sign-up link is on our website. The BBT Taiko offers 4 classes in April, May, and June, each focusing on a different technique. Come and try your hand at the art of Japanese drumming. Classes are April 9th, April 30th, May 14th, and June 4th. And I believe Pam Matsuoka has an announcement.
Hello, everybody. This is last minute. Kenny Endo, who many of you know has been performing at our Satsuki Bazaar in the past, and we haven't had one for a long time, but he's going to be in town this week at the Freight and Salvage performing with his group. And it's Thursday, April 13th, and it's an evening performance. And if you want tickets, you go to thefreight.org. And this is his only appearance in California. He's going on to Washington after this. And I was looking at his website, and he's going to Scotland. So this is a great chance to see him. And he's also giving a little discussion before the performance starts. So if you get there early, a little after 7, you'll catch that discussion on stage. So I hope you could join us. Thank you.
And speaking of the Satsuki Bazaar, please, it will take place on Sunday, May 21st, 12 noon to 7 p.m. Some of the signature food items will be available, including barbecue choice ribeye steak, Kahlua pork plate, vegetarian curry, udon, manju, sushi, and baked goods, and there will be free entertainment from 12 noon to 3 p.m. Please look at the Padma or the temple website, and you may pre-order your barbecue steak dinners, and you may make a donation in lieu of having to buy raffle tickets. And there will be a link to our silent auction, which will be coming in early May. And baked goods and silent auction donations over $50 in value are gratefully accepted. If you have any questions or need more information, you can contact Karen Kato at kkato@berkeleybuddhisttemple.org. And now I think Reverend Kuwahara has a few announcements or thank yous.
Okay, again, thank you very much for everyone attending today's service. I'd like to say thank you to those who have made today's service possible. So first, thank you, Tanaka Sensei, for being here as a guest speaker. ありがとうございました. Thank you very much. And then thank you, Judy, for being a wonderful chairperson today. Thank you, Judy. And then thank you, Dharma School teachers and the students for the wonderful Hana Matsuri, Jeopardy game. And then also they decorated this, Hanamido Shrine. ありがとうございました. And then thank you, Bradley, Myron, and David, Romeo, and then Berman for your help, technical help for this live streaming service today. ありがとうございます. And thank you, Tony and Ryan, for monitoring the chat room on our YouTube channel. ありがとうございます. And then thank you, Emiko-san, and then, Sangha singers for playing piano and then leading Gasa so beautifully today. ありがとうございました. Thank you. And then thank you, April Toban monthly group for preparing the refreshment after the service. ありがとうございました. Thank you very much. And then one more time, so this book, special free gift from Tanaka Sensei. So outside of the Hondo Hall, you can pick up the copy if you want. And then this is a really wonderful, very easy to read, book. So please take one copy home. Yes. So I think. どうぞ、はい、もちろん、はい。
I just wanted to say a little bit more about the book. This book was published by the BDK, which, as you know, they distribute Buddhist sutra books in hotels, and they published it. They make it possible to make it available for free, and that's why I went to this publisher to do this. But because it is free, I think some people get the feeling that it's not very good. So I think it's very good. I wrote it for young people. It's entitled An Introduction to American Buddhism for Youth, Scouts, and the Young at Heart. So all the adults, most of you are young at heart, so you can still, read this. And it's on just basic Buddhism and also on American Buddhism. I have the first chapter on American Buddhism, what's unique about American Buddhism. And then it has doctrine, history, and it has the last section, issues in life, especially for teenagers. What do you do? How do you think about when you break up, or when that special someone leaves you, and things like that. And then there's a last chapter on just on humor. So again, one for a family, and you can order more. They'll always send it to you free. So I hope you can take advantage of it, and because I think Buddhism needs to make itself more well known. It's gotten a lot more well known than when we were growing up. That's for sure. We have probably 3.3 million Buddhists in this country now. And if you include people who are just interested in Buddhism, you're talking about 33 million, 10%, who are either Buddhist, who are sympathizers, or who know a lot about Buddhism. So Buddhism is now an American religion, not like when we were growing up. And I want, especially the younger people, to be proud of what Buddhism is. Buddhism is one of the 3 world religions, and it's older than the other 2 religions. But it's the smallest in terms of population. 500 million as opposed to 2.2 billion Christians. But still, it's becoming much more well known in the Western countries. And I have a feeling that amongst the more well-educated, thinking people, that Buddhism will become a religion for the future, because sense of religion is changing. What religion means to people, believing in some higher being, just believing, but it's much more of a religion of awakening in everyday life to things around you. Okay.
Thank you, Sensei. ありがとうございます。Yeah, we are among the three world religions. We are the smallest, but everything is impermanent. So we could be the largest among the three someday, depending on how we work or how we share this teaching with other people, right? Okay. そうですね。はい。Okay, so anyway, ありがとうございました。Again, thank you very much for attending today's service. I would like to conclude our service and yeah, so I hope see you next Sunday. Okay? ありがとうございました。Yes. Refreshments ね。Yes.